Alright guys, welcome to this video regarding Parktown Residence. Not gonna bore you, just gonna dive straight into the reasons why this Parktown Residence in Tampines is gonna be a sellout project. Okay, so this video we're gonna cover 12 different points, right? Basically what you're seeing, already seeing from the screen. So number one, your preservation of capital. Number two, the scarcity, the rareness of such project. Number three, being the first mover, okay, which you will have the advantage. Number four, master plan, which is according to Singapore government's URA's plan. Number five, your high rentability. Number six, your unit size. Number seven, being OCR, the outperformer among all, right? And then we have around this district, which is very healthy when it comes to price performer. Number nine, we have award-winning developers. Number 10, right, we also have award-winning architect and landscape consultant. Number 11, your strong HDB upgrader demand. And number 12, your exit plan. Okay, so this two usually links quite close to each other, right? So if you already know all this, probably don't need to waste your time to watch this. But if you don't know, you want to know different points and all this, do stick around, okay? Because it will help you make more sensible decision for Parktown residents in Tampines. All right, so let's just go straight in. Number one, the value. So if you are an investor, you should know this guy called Warren Buffett. If you don't know, it's time to know, because he is, one of the most prominent investor here in the entire planet. So his rule is very simple. Only got two, right? Number one, never to lose money. Number two, never forget rule number one. Okay? So why is this important when it comes to property? All right, so knowing that this is an integrated transport hub, right, we should look at the past projects so we can make comparison, right? We can almost say that you will not lose money, but there are many other factors that comes in, right? In general, if you're holding on to any one of these projects, right, these are the gains that you are going to see. Because of different location, they all have different gains because of the market, how the market reacts to different location as well. Okay, so in one slide, we're going to see that for all projects, it's actually all green, right? Having said that, you still need to be very careful with your entry price. Okay, so all these people make money from projects like that. So this is going to add on to the past 9 projects to be the number 10. Right, we can see that all of them basically hold the value across the board. Number 2, scarcity advantage. Now, we all know that anything that is rare and that is high in demand, people will want it, will always stand out. Right? It's like having water in the desert. It's obvious, right? So in this case, in Parktown Residence, it's almost like having water in the desert. It's very, very rare, right? And if we were to look at the numbers, adding Parktown, right, to this entire past 9 projects, it only makes up to about 7,000 units compared to the rest of the private non-landed developments as of third quarter 2024, it stands at 2%. Right? So if you add in Q4, right, where you have your 6 launches in November, this is gonna be under 2%. It makes it even more rare. Okay? So scarcity. And in pie chart form, this is what you see lah. Right? LTA's definition for integrated projects like that basically needs 3 things. You need a full condition bus interchange, you need an MRT station, you need the commercial development, which is shopping malls. Okay, only when these three is combined together in a development, it is then called an integrated transport hub project. Right? So Parktown Tampines meet this criteria, and more than that, right? Parktown actually gives us more. Which more? Basically your community hub, your hawker center, and your covered plaza. The next thing is basically the greenery. We will cover that in the later part because that's where the landscape, the renowned landscape consultant comes in. Because this is the unique part of Parktown. Why it's called Parktown is because you're basically having or basically living in a park, right? So the entire design, the entire landscape, it's well thought out. So B1, B2, you have your car park plus your commercial. Or rather, B1, B2, you have your car park, right? Just to be clear, B1, B2, you have a car park. B1, you have your commercial. Level 1, you also have your commercial, plus your other hawker and all this, right? Level 2 onwards is then your residential. And all of your residential are basically linked to your commercial and, of course, towards the MRT station and also your bus interchange. So, number 3, your first mover advantage in New Tampines, right? If you are somebody who knows about Tampines, we all thought that there's no more growth in Tampines. Impossible, because most of it has already been taken place. We have our original Tampines MRT station, right? The 3 malls are there. We have the 3 other MRT stations, basically your Tampines West, your Tampines East, and then there's one more that is slightly on top of your Tampines main interchange, a little bit of walking distance, but that's your downtown line, right? So this is the central region, right, of Tampines. This next coming up, right, it's almost like Punggol, Sengkang when it first started. There's basically not much over there, right? Right now, there are HDBs mostly around this area. This integration of your interchange, your MRT, your shopping, your hawker is going to change the entire Tampines North altogether. Okay? So just a case study for first mover advantage, right? We all know that whenever there's development, it's going to change pricing of projects, of developments, right? Take for instance, when the reserve residence first came out in May 2023, it was about 2425. Then came 8 at BT, which is at 2728, September 2024. And because of the launch, right, you could already see that around the area, it's gonna fetch that kind of price. Because if you've watched my previous video or videos, a new launch basically came out like a pillar, right, that says that, okay, around this area it's gonna be this price. The older projects is gonna match this, and together both price is gonna continue to go up together, right? So whenever there's development, there's always capital appreciation, capital gain. What you are paying is not just the property itself. It's basically for the things that the government has put in place around that development. Okay, you got to be open up and understand what you're buying. Because you think about it, if you think that you are only going to buy that place for just that place itself, then how about the amenities around the area? Are you paying for that from your own pocket? Basically, not really, The government actually poured in a lot of money for that kind of things to happen, right? But in this case, for Parktown, there are 3 developers that is coming into this. The rest around this area is going to boost in their capital appreciation and their price as well. Okay, so let's not digress too much, right? Number 4, your master plan, right? If we follow the direction of the government, so far, right, whenever they say they want to do something, they will do it. I mean, I can't say anything about other countries. I don't want to comment about other countries as well. But in Singapore, they have properly thought out and properly planned everything before they come into the media, the social media, the news to come out and say that, okay, we are going to do this. And so far, we haven't been let down once, right? So knowing the master plan, knowing how things grow, is going to help you with your investment. So in the East, right, we have a lot of things going on. And what I realize is that the entire Singapore is basically going through developments and developments. Places that you think cannot develop can again, maybe in years' time, government thinks that it's time to put in money to reconstruct the entire area because it's old enough. It's going to garner attention, it's going to garner growth as well. Right? So here in the East, we have the Changi Airport, right? Terminal 5 is coming. We have the Changi Business Park, right? This area is going to continue to grow as well. There are some plans around there. Tampines, which is where we are, right? Number 4, Paya Lebar Air Base. This area is earmarked. It came out in the news. Everybody know. It's just a matter of time. More information comes up. And if you look at the distance between these two places, it's actually not very far, right? People can be coming over to Tampines, and people from Tampines can also go over there as well, right? Last one will be Punggol. We all know that Punggol has this digital district, which is almost ready, right? Most of the things are around there. It's just that more things need to be in place before the entire thing, especially for businesses, right? Because before the entire place becomes more vibrant, okay? Right, so in Tampines, right, we know that the master plan can change, right? If you're not aware, right, earlier on, like I said, there are these 3 MRTs, right? And this is just walking distance from each other. And then we have another one, which is Tampines North, and which is where Parktown is, right? Do note that there's no direct connection in terms of MRT. I'm sure there will be buses because this line doesn't cross this, right? And so when we compare master plan from different years to different years, you take a look at this black colored border, right? It was basically quite empty back then in 2008. And then in 2014, there are some changes. And because of the changes, developments around this area also change, right? Prominently, right, Waterview and Tropical, because these 2 projects are the ones that were already there when master plan is being announced. So you can see that there's actually lifting in the price, right, for this development, these projects, right? And, right, for projects that are in the market around this area, which you'll see, right, 2019, there are changes again, right, in this area. More information coming out. So sometimes you need to understand when there are, so usually comes in 2 waves. First, government announce. Second, when things are ready for people to see, people can visualize, right? So when plans like that come out, different projects, different development around this area also has that kind of lifting effect, right? So you see the change between 2019 and 2024, right? URA will always try to make the best plan they possibly can, right? Because it's a lot of money, by the way. So when that happens, we see all these prices coming up, right? So transformation is something that is always happening. It's just that whether your timing for certain projects meet this kind of thing, right? And this is basically a very big boost to your asset, basically. Okay, next point number 5, your high rentability. Okay, and this high rentability premium for this ITH, your integration hub, right? We just take in comparison for something that is close by, right? Something that is already in play and we are seeing the effect, right? And we are expecting prices to be around this, right? And the reason is very simple. So if we look at 2-bedroom Bedok Residence, right, which is another integration hub, right, sitting just on top of your Bedok MRT, right? And then we have something nearby, your Flamingo Valley, right? So that difference in your two room basically has that difference of about 20% more. Okay, that's how much people want to be in terms of convenience, right? Because everything is just there. Right? We also have, so if we take Alps as a comparison, if Alps 2 bedroom is fetching this price, we will possibly see Parktown fetching another 20% more, which will bring us to 4.1. Okay, and then we have our 3 bedroom, again Parktown Residence, which will fetch about, which is fetching about 5.6, right? Flamingo Valley 4.6. The difference is about 22%. And if we take this, right, and apply to the same area, right, Alps Residence, which is fetching about 4.3, we should also see this kind of pricing for Parktown, right, 5.2, thereabout. Right, so different developments in Tampines, right, we are seeing prices like that. So this is just for you to take a look to see for different bedroom size, right, what you will be expecting if you are putting things into perspective. Okay, and hence the reason why you're seeing this possibility, right? Some estimation for you. Okay, number 6, your unit size entry consideration. Right, for this, I'm sure you have heard it many, many times because it has been proven. If you're able to get a larger unit, try to get a larger unit because this just means that you have a larger profit. It is as simple as that. Okay, so take an example, Alps, right? In Tampines 1 bedroom, going for 230K, right? 2 bedroom can go up to 350K. 3 bedroom can go to 420K. 4 bedroom 640K. 5 bedroom 1 mil. Right? Next, OCR and outperformer. Right? In this region, we kind of know that it has basically outperformed in terms of your return, right? 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, no matter how much the term that you are looking at, you will be expecting to get more, right? These are proven by data and statistics, so just showing you, right? And in this district, we are seeing very healthy price performer, right? Whether it's 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, very similarly, you get this kind of return. Okay. Next, award-winning developers, right? UOL, Singapore Land, both of them have won multiple awards, right? There's nothing that we can say, basically, right? And they have done up so many other projects, and if you have been to them, you know that they are really, really classy and properly done, right? From your Nasim Park to your Mayor House to your Wharton House to your Mayor Blue, right? These are the projects that were done by all this development. Next one, Capital Land, another award-winning developer. And previous project, right? We have One Pearl Bank, Canning Hill Piers, Sengkang Grand Residences, right? And D. Liden. Now, next one, which you don't get in any other integration or integrated hub projects, is basically this, right? This consultant, right, basically won a lot of projects, or rather won a lot of awards. Okay, Botanical Gardens and our Istana, right, they're both properly planned out, right, by him. So imagine Parktown Residence, which is a size of 6 football field, giving him the chance to play, right? You will expect something very different compared to most of the other very concrete, very urban style. Okay, and past projects, right, like Mayor House, Holland Hill, we can see a lot of greens within the project. Right, so a bit of sneak preview, right? This is what Parktown is going to look like. Okay. Next one, reason 11, right? This, I think, is something that is very important because it is also linked up with your exit plan. If you don't know, right? And if you also wonder, who is going to buy your Parktown residence in the future, plenty. There are many people living in the east that wants to upgrade. Okay, over here, right, this number that you see, people once they MOP, they want to upgrade, they will look for something affordable, something good. And if they are already staying in the east, most likely they want to stay in the east. Right? So these numbers basically includes people from Bedok, from Geylang, from Marine Parade, from Pasir Ris, from Tampines. And these are the number of flats that's going to MOP during this period. Okay, we haven't count, 26, 27, that's also coming in, right? And if you look at just Tampines, we are seeing people fetching this kind of price for their MOP BTO, which is near $1 million. Okay, that's how much they are exiting from their BTO. If I'm not wrong, this Central 7 is basically a DBSS, right? So with people coming in and with you going out, you also need to know where you are going out to, right? And this is basically where you're going to exit, because around this area, right, you can see that this is where Parktown is, right? This one. Around this area, right, there are basically 3 other plots of land sitting there right now, planned but not released in terms of any information. Okay, but we know that it's going to be residential. So after you sell this, that's where you can probably think about moving, and not too far away, right? So plan ahead, right? Once you know all this, whether it's, a right move to enter, right? Whether after you enter, it's a good place where people will want to come in and take over from you, and then where you are going to go to, right? Basically your exit plan. So this, you can basically plan ahead even before going into an investment, going into especially a property investment here in Singapore, right? So in conclusion, right, I basically go through all this. So if you need help with more information, if you need, if you're unsure about anything, you have questions to ask, you need more information, you want the slides, you want different information, I try to see what I can send over to you, right? So with this, right, if you need any help, do reach out, do contact me. I'll see you around in the next video. All right, do follow me on social media, right? You can basically find me in almost all social medias that most Singaporeans are using, right? So for other platforms, you will get many short videos and photos and all this compared to such long ones, right? Because in YouTube, only YouTube allows us to do this, right? So I will see you around. Thank you for watching, and all the best in your investment. Thank you. Bye-bye.